national resistance movement is a democratic movement. It's a movement which is fighting for democracy.
Democracy, it's the word we hear every election season, the promise every politician makes, and the dream many Ugandans still hold dear. But since gaining independence in 1962, Uganda has continued to struggle in its pursuit of true democracy. Decades later, that dream feels further away for many, leaving some Ugandans wondering if they'll ever witness a fully functioning democracy.
Services, they are not getting the same services. And you find that people from Tungamo, they are getting more. Or people from Uganda, they are getting more. And here, people from Uganda, they are getting small. It means there is no democracy.
Just months before independence, Uganda held its first national elections in April 1962, a historic moment that marked the birth of self-governance. The Uganda People's Congress won 37 seats and formed a coalition government with the Kabaka Party.
DP has got 4,000.
Paving way for Milton Obote to become the country's first prime minister. For a moment, the promise of democracy seemed within reach, but that hope was short-lived. Political divisions deepened, leading to the exile of Uganda's first president, Sir Edward Mutesa II, and eventually the 1971 military coup that brought Idi Amin to power, a turning point that sent the nation's democratic journey into turmoil. But in 1986, a new sense of hope swept across Uganda. After years of war and uncertainty, a young rebel leader, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, rose to power, promising to rebuild the nation and restore the democracy Ugandans had long dreamed of. His message inspired millions who believed a new chapter had finally begun. Nearly 40 years later, President Museveni remains at the helm, now seeking a seventh term, still speaking the same language of democracy, even as critics question his decades-long rule. Bush War veteran and retired Major Alhaj Abdul Naduli, now a presidential advisor, reflects on this history, saying every Ugandan leader has come to power with the promise of democracy, including Museveni himself, who first laid out his vision in the famous 10-point program of 1984.
It remains that someone said, it's what the proverb said, it is easier said than done. Huh? It is so softly said, no, we shall get democracy. Moment as he comes on the power, he forgets that. And he abandons it in the same place where you stood to say so.
Political analyst and academician Yusuf Seronkuma explains that while Ugandans understand the basic surface meaning of democracy, its deeper technicalities are often misunderstood.
What we've done, governance has become technical. Governance has simply become technical. So you govern through technical variables. Okay? So the lie is in the technicality. We have a parliament. Oh yes, we have a parliament. Are we governed by the constitution? Yes, we have a constitution. Do you go to the electoral process? Of course we hold elections. And we have a free press? Of course there's a free press. So you tick the box: parliament, press, judiciary, constitution, elections, right? So the lie is in the technicalities. That behind those technicalities is actual power.
He warns that this gap makes it difficult to guarantee the true practice of democracy in the country.
That we go to an electoral process as for the sake of it. It's very ceremonial. It's ceremonial that we go to an electoral process, but we don't go into elections to decide the next government. Neither could you say that people's human rights are respected, because you have so many people in jail, abducted on the streets, and thrown behind bars without any due process. So these are too many to count. So you can't say that's protection of human rights.
Article 21 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, adopted in 1948 after the Second World War, underscores democracy as the rightful system of governance through which citizens can freely pursue their aspirations. But as political analyst Yusuf Seronkuma observes, while Ugandans have a deep desire for democracy, challenges such as leaders who overstay in power plus repeated constitutional amendments have created loopholes, turning the pursuit of democracy into a journey with no clear destination. Maria Cornelia Atchire reporting for